now I'm starting to understand why. But so I'm gonna reach out to you guys as much as I can, reply to everybody. But yeah, it gets to be a little hard. But I will, serve you as best I can. So keep going. Take a sip real quick. So this right here is modern golden. So he's got a good spiritual process, and it's just something that I've learned recently, within the past 6 months. So I saw him at an event maybe a couple months ago in Dallas. It was a Christian, like entrepreneurial, like all-day event, right? They had so many speakers, and throughout all those speakers, he's the one that connected with me the most, just the way he talked, right? And so I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and like we had to go to church twice on Sundays. On Wednesday, always dressed in your Sunday best. Women couldn't wear anything but skirts. If you had painted nails or colored hair, everything's the devil basically. If it's not the Bible, it's the devil, right? So growing up in that, I say that because they would always talk about how money is the root of all evil, and like hey, if we're gonna be poor, we're humble, yeah, like live in God's fortune or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But we're here for a long time, even though life is short, it's the longest thing you're ever going to experience, right? So, with that being said, I'm like, I don't want to be poor the entire time I'm here. Like, I've done it for quite a while. I'm kind of tired of it. So, this guy, he flipped the script on that and was like, hey, you know what? Wealth is inherently good. What you can do with wealth is bless other people, right? You can't, help a single mom at the grocery store with 3 kids who can't afford her groceries if you're broke, Now, if you got some money and God puts that in your heart to go pay for groceries, you got to have some money to do that. You can't do that if you're broke. So, another thing I figured out: poverty is always a result of spiritual warfare. Can't speak today. Poverty is always a result of spiritual warfare. So, I found that out firsthand because when I was broke and I was doing things my way and not God's way, I found out, I was pretty much broke all the time, right? And so when I decided to put God first, through my own trials and tribulations, I put him first, and miraculously, things just started going up, like the money started rolling in, and it's because I made that decision to put him first, right? So whenever you got your spirituality in check, that's kind of when things start rolling the right way. It doesn't mean things are going to be easy. It doesn't mean, it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows, but that you got God in the forefront of your mind, and if God's with you, who can be against you, So that's kind of how I look at that. And another thing that he said that I've heard other people say is a lot of entrepreneurs say spirituality is more real than physicality, right? Even though we're here, we're physical, we can touch, smell, hear, and taste, all that stuff. What's inside your spirit is more real than any of that, because there's, like I said, there's good and evil at play, all around us, right? And it's kind of what you want to feed into. This might sound like mumbo jumbo, but once you really start to look into it, it's just like, I'm glad that we're doing this again because it's something I need to revisit. It's just like there's all these like I said, good and evil at play, and it's a lot more real than what's going on physically. So it's just kind of what you decide to feed your mind, what you decide to look into, and it really will boost whether you're doing positive things or negative things. So we'll get on to the next one. So here's another one of his spiritual process, right? So he talks about money a lot, right, which is great, because that's what we're all here for. We're all here to make money. So, talks about money is providence for God's abundance. Like I was saying, we are not able to, bless anybody if you do not have money, right? Money is possession for God's kingdom. We always talk about in our church that I go to is tithing, right? And I used to think that they kind of just want your money. They do the Joel Osteen stuff, they buy the jets and all this stuff, blah blah blah. But when you really start to read the Bible and go to church and you listen to what they say, the first dollar of every 10 is God's. You're really just returning what's his, right? So I've really started to bring back tithing into like my own personal business, is giving money to the church. Whenever I make a sale, I'll take that first 10% and give it to the church, and whatever they do with it, that's theirs. That's God's money. So money is proof of God's blessing, right? Here lately we've been all been making some money, me, Michelle, Daniel, Tony, and me and Michelle came in at the same time a couple of years ago, and we were not making any money back then. It was kind of rough for a little bit, but now we're making it, and we're just trying to do the best we can for our families and our friends, right? So money is provision for God's people. So what that means is just like back on what I said, here recently, like I've made quite a few big sales, But I've just paid some bills and I was kind of stupid with it. Wasn't really smart about it. But here recently again, making some more sales. And now this time around, I'm putting money away, for the winter. And I'm also, just like being smarter with it, right? And one of the first things I did is because I listened to a lot of mindset stuff on YouTube. A lot of entrepreneurs like Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Aaron Nightingale, all these big names in the entrepreneur space, if you don't know them. And I forget who said it exactly. But this was like back then, like in the maybe 1900s, like early. Like $500 was a lot of money, right? So he was saying, hey, when you got $500, take it out of the bank, get it physical, and just hold it to see what it feels like, right? So for me, I translated $500 into $10,000, right? So I pulled out 10K from the bank in cash, and I just kept it for a day, like just having that, that band, and just like seeing what it felt like, just like this feels nice,
Did you tape it to your body?
My body.
Like tape it, like packs.
Oh no!
Like actually feel what it felt like to be like, I got 10K on me.
That's some drug dealer stuff. No, I did not do that.
You make it rain? You make it rain?
Did you sit on your bed like this?
That's what I'm saying.
Snow angels? You don't do snow?
Maybe before, but no, not this.
He's laying in the bathtub with his dollar bill.
No. So one of the tricks that I did do, that I probably would have done that last year, but no,
not today.
Before. So I don't.
Last year, you would have done that last year.
Because I wasn't thinking last year. Like
December?
last year, I was like, oh, I got money. Yeah, exactly.
In
So,
December, you would have done that.
probably, yeah, honestly. But one of the things that I've been doing since like February 1st, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see it. Is I was writing every day on February 1st. Like I had money, but I had to go. So basically, like I had zero money, right? Like I had money, but I had to go. I put it in my heart to want to pay for someone's groceries. I don't want to get in my car or swipe my car. So I'm just like, here you go, and just walk away. Something like that. So I keep this on me all the time, and now I've also started to break down hundreds into 20s because like it's just one of those things. Like I tithe to the church, but I also just want to like give to people because I've been surrounded by giving people not only in this room but in other places in my life that I would just want to extend that blessing forward. Like for example, I went to stay in a hotel like a couple weeks ago, and the only option they had for parking was like valet. And like before, like I didn't really see that as like a thing to tip on, but now like I saw a young dude that was 18, 19, and I could tell he was busting his butt, and like I had $100 in 20s, so I was like, here you go, man. Like they just pulled up my car, and then going to the restaurant, that guy's a server, like I told you earlier, I was a server, I know how it was, so here's a 20, man. So just giving, you know what I mean? Giving where I can, just helping, spread that blessing forward, because I know people have done it to me, so it's only right that, I help others, you know what I mean? So, on to the next. So this is a quote also from Myron, and it's pretty true if you take a look at it. Is Satan takes your attention off of your abundance to focus on one thing that will be the end of your abundance. So for example, there's a lot of problems that, this is not all sunshine and rainbows, this industry, no industry is, Power, for example, is not a perfect company, but I still think it's the best company to be at, There's plenty of other companies that have tried to recruit me, saying we'll give you higher commissions, faster install times, you're your own boss, you're an executive, blah, 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 right? And they try to get me to focus on all the problems that Power has. Maybe your PMs aren't responding, maybe your permits are taking forever, maybe your installs aren't going the way they should. And, I've been in those places where I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't, be working for Power, maybe I should work for this company, or maybe I shouldn't be in the solar industry at all, because of, X, Y, and Z. But that's exactly what this quote is talking about. It's like, dude, when you focus on just like the bad things, like you're gonna not focus on, the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you're gonna have problems no matter what you're doing, but as long as you focus on your abundance and what's good and what you're doing, like all of those negative things are just gonna wither away.